All right, hello everyone. This is I'm Mr. Krow, and I've got here with me,
Or Duck.
and we're here back with a bird's eye view today. We're going to be talking about streaming and some mental health tips, tricks, ideas, concepts that we'd like to discuss and go through. Maybe even some pointers for you guys that are just getting started, or even been around the block for a little while. These are things that even I found really interesting as we
Right.
looked into it more.
So why this came up was there's been several big time streamers and big time personalities that
Yeah.
have passed away recently. I'm not bringing up any names. You can find them if that's something that you want to look for. But there's been some big successful streamers and some other folks of notoriety that have committed suicide due to mental health issues. And so
Yeah.
we thought this is something that we should bring up is streamers, somebody that we've been around for a couple years. Not that we're super big or anything, but we've dealt with the things that I'm sure they've dealt with. Maybe not the success
I
part,
don't know if
but
it's to the same level,
right.
but
And maybe not the success part, but some of the
yeah.
other things. But so what we did is we put up above over there and over here is above is the United States National Suicide Prevention Line with the number there. And on the other side is the UK support line by Samaritans. Now, the helpline is, I don't know anything about UK numbers. It's either 116 or it's 123 or it's 116 123. I don't know. But if you're from UK, I'm sure that makes more sense to you.
Sure makes sense. Yeah.
And it's free of charge over there in the UK from landline or mobile. There's the email. There's the website you can go to because this is a very, very serious issue for a lot of people.
Especially lately,
Right.
with the pandemic and everything that's going on,
It's made it worse.
It's gotten worse.
And it shocked me when I was reading that these people of big success were struggling with this very thing. And so I was like, okay, if you are having trouble with this and obviously have money, obviously have a lot of people working for you
Around you and with you,
and you're having success in your channel, then there's something else there that the stress got to you somewhere. And if
Yep.
that can happen to somebody successful and big, it can happen to people that are just starting out in the middle or have established channels that just aren't that successful. It can happen to anyone, regardless
Yes.
of your success level, regardless of how much money you have, or regardless of any of those other factors, race, whatever, age, blah, 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 that we're not getting into. So
Yeah.
so, there was a blog or a thing by Twitch that they put out about 5 health tips for online content creators, and this was done by Ross Kerr.
I think it's Kerr. Yeah.
Kerr, and we're just gonna highlight those points and then kind of talk about it a little bit. Let me switch over to this.
I think
here.
like we can talk about some of our experiences with some of these things because
Right.
I think some of these points, as I was reading through them too, and getting thoughts and gathering thoughts around them. Even though you're alone, you feel alone. You're not alone. This is stuff that we all go through at one stage in our life, whether we are streaming it or well, once you become a streamer, you actually start experiencing some of these things that come up, and so. Just the biggest thing that we're trying to do is let you guys know that you're not alone, right. And don't think that you need to do it alone.
So here's the first one. Is he says connect with social supporters, and don't take this the wrong way. They don't mean connect with people on Instagram and stuff like that.
No,
that's not what this is. This is your real life social network, whether that's your mom, your dog, your wife, your husband, your kids, your grandma,
significant other,
your imaginary friend, whatever. My dog, Prime, he's a great listener. He does talk back every once in a while, but
sucks about giving advice, but man, can that boy listen.
he can listen. And that's kind of the thing is, like, his the way he puts it is life doesn't have to be single player. and it shouldn't be. Connections such as an important aspect of mental health. And so sure, connections in this pandemic world right now, a lot of it is online. And that's true. But if you have a neighbor you like, stand on the other side of your fence and talk, 12 feet away, and just have a little bit of that connection. Or run out and stop your mailman and, 6 feet away, talk to your mailman for a minute. But don't think you're alone. These phone numbers right here are, if you just don't have anybody to talk to at all or need somebody right now, they are professionals. They're there to help you through whatever it is. Because I'll tell you right now, suicide is a very, very, very selfish thing to do. And it devastates everybody else around you. And it doesn't solve the issues that you had.
It's you think it's your way out, but you don't understand all the people and the things that it affects otherwise.
And if you're a streamer, you being gone affects now your whole community that you were building. And that's even more devastating to people that were struggling in the same situation as you.
Yeah.
You are not alone in this world, in this life. It may feel like it, but you're not. There's always somebody that cares enough to sit down and help. And these professionals will do that if you need professional help. But you have family, you have friends, there are people, and I guarantee you right now, if you go out on the street, go to McDonald's, grab a hamburger, and go find a homeless man or a homeless woman or a homeless child, and they'll sit down on the bench and listen to you. They will.
Yep. They will.
Then you guys can talk about problems together, because their problems are different than your problems, but they're still dealing with it. They're still out there pushing through. So there's
Everybody's got
always
different
somebody.
problems.
That's right.
Yeah.
And there's always somebody. And
I know bringing up what Duck's saying too is having someone to talk to. Mine has been my wife. Like she's not involved. She's always the third party. She's a great listener, and she gives advice based on what she understands it to be. But sometimes you don't need the advice. You just need that someone to get it off your chest, get it out there, and you need to find that somebody.
And there's been time over the last couple years that I've reached out to Krow because I was just having a hard time with the streaming stuff. Just for whatever reason, I was thinking about some things that just really weren't the way they were in reality. And so just by pointing out, and he's all, yeah, but if you look at it this way, it's really not the same as what you're saying. And I was, sometimes it's just that different perspective that you get locked into. You get locked into, I'm looking at it this way. And if you just open that up a little bit, it can totally change everything. Yeah. So connect with somebody, something. Just get out there and talk to somebody if you need to talk to somebody. Okay.
Definitely.
Number 2 is establish set coping mechanisms or methods. All right. So
myself, I'm horrible at this. This is my first instant reaction is walls up, done. I'm in myself. I'm in a cocoon. I'm done. And that is not necessarily the most healthiest ways of doing this.
And my military background puts me the same way. I am a lot the same way of suck it up and drive on. We got to keep going.
Yep. That's my mentality right there.
But Ross says coping skills such as deep breathing, reading, or exercise can help you release stress and gain perspective on those tough moments. So for me is I can get very frustrated in games. And so what I have done...
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Games don't frustrate me.
So what I have done, because this happens to me when I'm playing War Thunder a lot, is I'll just get... and so what I have done is when I start complaining and bitching about stuff, I got a little button on my stream deck that is a baby crying. And when I start getting in that thing, I just hit that button of me crying because it's just basically that's what I'm doing, right? I
love it.
And so I start hearing the baby cry and then I start laughing about it. I'm like, okay. But that's in game, right? But I'll get off and I'll go and I'll throw the ball around with the dog, or I'll get the little laser and run the dog around, or I'll go play Legos with the twins, or vent to the wife, or go ride the motorcycle if it wasn't freaking 108 degrees outside all the time. But I have things that I will step away from and go and do, um, just to get away from the stress of streaming. Because I know, like, when I very first started out, it was, I only got one follower today, or there's only three
Mm,
people watching,
yes.
and the thing that happens to streamer is they put their personal value to how many people are watching them, or how many subs or followers they're getting, and you cannot do that, because it doesn't mean that. That's not
Yeah.
what it means, right? It's okay, maybe you're just not as entertaining as somebody that's super popular, but that has nothing to do with your net value as a person, or
Yeah.
your perspectives, or anything like that. But it is very, very easy for streamers to get sucked into nobody's watching me, especially early. Especially
Yeah.
early.
And especially too when you start getting into that or not reputation, but you have six consistent watchers, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh well, gosh, this person has stopped coming by for whatever reason, or this person has stopped coming by, and you start thinking, oh man, what am I doing wrong? What have I done? And that's something that you need to figure out how to cope with too, and try to figure out how do I deal with this? Is it something that I've done, or is this something that maybe I can fix? Or it's how you cope with these things
And
is
and
going to be a very important way.
And I want to key on what Crow just said, is it's something I've done. And that's one of those very careful things that you have to
Hmm.
be very careful about when you're asking that, because as soon as you say, is it something I've done, you start putting it back on yourself. And
And sometimes it's
streaming
not what you've done.
and streaming is not always just about you. There's a million different factors, and that is, maybe they don't like the game you're playing, or
Maybe they don't like your style.
yeah, maybe they just aren't entertained by you. And that's okay,
And
because for
yeah,
you as a streamer, you got to find your niche and stick in your niche, because if you're doing something that's not you, that you can't deal with, stuff gets carried away.
yeah,
And look at, I don't want to bring up names, but there's some very prominent streamers that use personalities, that personality took over his life, and he thought he was somebody else that he really is not, and that affected his real life and his real life relationships and things like that. That's where you very much have to be careful if you're doing personas and stuff. I think that's
yeah.
where a lot of these actors get caught up, is they they play these roles where they're invincible, or they're just this super party animal, or all this other stuff, and then it kind of leaks that into that real life, and then they find themselves ODing,
Getting into
or
it.
drinking every day, or losing those real life relationships that they had, because all of a sudden they're becoming something that they weren't. So so for me, it's I'm just me. I'm just gonna be me, and I hope you come and watch, and I hope you enjoy. But if you don't, okay, go find. That's why there's a million streamers out there. Is you can go and find the one that really connects with you, and be where you want to be. That's the most important thing. And if you
Yeah.
enjoy
Be
being on
you.
Crow's channel, or my channel, or Ricky Dicky Dunk's channel, whatever,
I love that
then
channel.
then go and be there and enjoy yourself, and
Yeah.
enjoy the community, because that's kind of the most important thing. If you're watching people you don't enjoy, why? Why
Yeah.
are, and if you're streaming games, or if you're streaming something that you don't enjoy, why? I complain a lot about some of the games I play. That I hate this game, but I wouldn't play it if I truly hated
Yeah,
it.
I was just gonna say, really, we wouldn't end up playing them.
Yeah.
We've had that. I've been down that route. Like it becomes pretty hard, but eventually you're just like, yeah, this isn't for me.
And for
I'm
me,
done with this.
I've stood by my, I'm gonna play the games that I want to play, not the super popular ones, and maybe not the ones that everybody wants to watch. But I'm gonna play the ones that I want to play, because I need to have fun. Because if I'm playing a
Yeah,
game that everybody else wants to watch, but I'm not having fun, that's still not gonna be fun for anybody to watch, unless they're just there to watch my misery, which I guess
which is also pretty fun.
my F counter kind of, yeah, okay. But but
So what we're trying to say though is learn how to deal with that,
Right,
and
okay.
kind of
We got sidetracked a little bit.
figure
All
out
right.
a coping method.
So, set your office hours.
Very important. Very important. And such, I'm going to just set this right there, right now. This is one of the hardest things to do as a streamer. Because when you're not at work streaming, you're not streaming, you're not working, you're not getting visual. So what's everybody automatically start thinking? I need to be on social. I need to go interact with this, and such a hard thing. But
Or
this
stream 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Yeah, this one's tough.
So Ross says set definitive work hours can help you create a structure that allows for time to unplug, which can significantly reduce stress. So for me, I stream 12 to 4 and then 8 to midnight or 8 to 10, depending on what's happening. So part of the reason is because my twins take a nap at 12. They get up around 2 or 3, and then they do their thing, usually watch cartoons for a little while. And then when I get done, we go and play some Legos or do some other things. And that's my hours. Now something that Crow and I kind of talked about this is the social media stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The Instagrams, the Twitters, and these things.
Snapchat, the TikToks, the Discord.
And that's where you still have to set yourself some set hours and don't stay on that stuff all the time. Now, for me,
yes, I'm
old and I don't understand any of these stuff. I do have Twitter. I don't have Instagram. I rarely tweet stuff. And I have a Facebook, but I only recently restarted that for family stuff with the twins and stuff. And not really on it. I'm not really ever on it unless I'm posting something for my mom to watch about the twins or something. So I don't really do the other social media stuff, but I know that a lot of people are on there all the time. And if you're a streamer and you're streaming for 8 hours or something, and then all of a sudden now you're on Instagram, and now all of a sudden it's 12 hours that you've been doing social media. And then, you still have to unplug. You still need to eat. You still need to sleep. You still need to go connect with social supporters. So limit yourself to how long you're doing things.
Set your office hours and just stick to it, including that social media. I don't know how to say it. Including social media, you can't get wrapped down that rabbit hole, as I've heard some wise people tell me once.
And if you think about it, right? Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and even Twitch and YouTube, how do these people make money? Is you being on it, right?
You being there.
So they make it addictive almost.
Oh yeah.
And so you're like, oh God, I gotta check my Instagram pictures, messages, whatever it is.
I gotta
check my Instagram feed. Okay, there you go. And then I gotta make sure that I tweeted somebody back or whatever, or I gotta check my Facebook because there's the next movement coming up. Yeah, and I don't know what happens on Facebook. Anyway, or somebody's streaming on Facebook now. I guess that can be the new thing.
That's true. That's a big thing.
Make it addictive for you to want to always be on there, and so you're always on there wasting hours and hours where you are not unplugging or connecting, and it can affect your mental health. And so be very careful, and please set some time away, even if that's okay. Not only just set some office hours, set your non-office hours. How about that?
There you go. That's a good way to put it. That's a good spin.
How about set your non-office hours, and so you just you unplug for an hour or two every day. That's not sleeping either. I mean, you just straight up unplug. And for me, it's been really good playing Legos with the twins. I was building some stuff, and
he's playing what Minecraft was back in the day.
Yeah, real life Minecraft.
He's playing real life Minecraft.
Okay, so the next one. The next one is prioritize a hobby. And
other than gaming. Well, I'm just going to throw that out there.
No, Crow, So for me, when I was working
Streaming.
full time, streaming was my hobby.
Yeah.
And it still kind of is because I'm not won't claim to be making a living doing this, but I just don't really have a lot of other things to do when it's 108 degrees outside, so I just stream a lot. But I enjoy gaming, but I don't deal with a lot of the stress part of the streaming for me, because I just like, for me it's like, if I'm gonna play a game, why not stream?
Yep.
Right, unless it's like a game that we talked about before, where I play those offline because it's boring to watch me play this particular game, and I need to concentrate, which is not a lot of games. But get away, take that mental break. Whatever
Whatever
it is that stresses you out or that builds your stress, that's what you need to get away from. So
it's
if
very
that's
true.
exercising, if that's just reading, if that's just what's that stuff when people just get up in their mind and
Meditate.
There we go.
Somehow.
If we meditate, I was like, mesmerizing. That's not.
That's not the.
If you meditate for an hour or two or whatever it is you take a break. That can be your hobby. Just find something else that you enjoy. If you are feeling stressed from streaming or work or whatever it is that's stressing you out or building stress or causing you to not feel at 100%, or that you're not worth being around, that you don't have that net worth, get away from that and find something. Like, that can be just playing with your dog, if that's what it is, with your cat.
It's true.
Or
I
your
used to,
bird or iguana or whatever.
before I got into the streaming stuff, it was a lot of the stuff for me to do was I would get on 7 Days to Die. I would play Titanfall 2, and take out my frustrations or anger and do stuff.
So you were talking about one of your hobbies is cooking. You like take your
I love cooking.
You take your frustrations out on cooking. You're an angry cooker.
No, I'm not. I think I just it allows me to. It puts me in that meditation type of state, right? I just sit there and I'm like, okay, I need to exactly. I just need to cut this. I need to dice that. I need to chop this, put them together, and then you give them out to people to eat, and you see the joy, you see the happiness, and that's what I enjoy about cooking. Now, on the other hand, if you put too much
eating
salt,
part about cooking.
Yeah, well,
that's causing a problem. That's
Yeah, I've had a few where I'm like, okay, I'll do this and this and this, and I'll give it out, and they're like, I don't like it, and I'm like,
oh my god, my wife.
And now talk about the frustration part.
My wife tried this new recipe because she's trying to do these healthy cookies, and so she said, "Here, try this," and I took a bite of this cookie, right, and it was like this cinnamon toast crunch, like, okay, at the bottom of your bowl of the cinnamon toast crunch, there's all that stuff. It's like they took all that and put it in this like wafery powdered cookie, and I was like, oh yeah, that's not good. That's not. And she's not. Yeah, I'm gonna have to throw those out. Well, you didn't even like them either, but you made me try it. What the hell is that? Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Ugh.
Yes, my getaway and de-stress is cooking. That's one of my other hobbies.
All right, here we go. Number 5. All right, Ross says take a break. If you find yourself pushing through every day and feeling less inspired or overwhelmed, take a break. Whether it's 30 minutes to get a breather or a week-long vacation, breaks are essential. I'm going camping on Tuesday. I'm taking a break.
I took a little bit of a break, and then I broke my back. Not literally. My back went into spasms, and I ended up having to take a longer break. And yeah, it's taking a break when you've been streaming. I mean, it's a lot of work. I don't think people understand how much work it is to actually stream.
And take a break from your social media.
It gets frustrating. And yes, you need to take a break. I mean, period. Just be like, everyone, I'm going to unplug. I'm going off the grid. And
I think that's the hardest part for people is when they go on vacation, right? They're on Instagram and Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
And they're still connected on there. And I'm like, take a break. Unplug and just like lock your phone. Give your phone to your mom or your somebody for a few days and
Leave it at home.
and watch how hard it is for you to not get on Facebook or Twitter, you twittering people.
You
It's like, God,
tweets.
and just like the world's not gonna stop because
Take a
you're
break.
not on the phone for a minute or watching.
I have so talking about this, and I don't know if she's gonna see this video. She stops by the chat all the time, and I'm not gonna say names, but we were discussing one time in the chat as we're streaming, and I said, "Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it." I looked at my report of how much I've been on this app on my phone, right? You know how you can look at how long you've been on an app or whatnot,
I don't,
and it said that for the whole week I was on TikTok for like 3 or 4 hours, and I was like, I can't believe I've been on TikTok that much.
I can't believe you're on TikTok.
That's true. So she comes in, she's like, "Oh, I just pulled up my report, and this is my report for the past 5 days." And I think she said she's been on TikTok for, I think it was 24 hours. She was on Instagram for 10, and she was on Snapchat, and that didn't even change. I'm just like, wow, take a break, unplug, relax. Your friends are still going to be there.
Now, Crow,
you need to find you.
I'm struggling a second. Are you doing these TikTok challenge dances? I'm gonna have to look this up because I just can't picture.
No, I'm just kidding.
I just can't picture Crow doing the TikTok dance challenges and stuff.
I do not do any TikToks. I'm only a supporter and a watcher of a lot of the people. But that's the thing, Kay. The
government says no, and so I can't even be on there doing that. So
yeah, I should clarify. I support a lot of other streamers on TikTok, and they make a lot of videos. I comment on them. I get a lot of giggles. But do I do a TikTok? No, not as of right now. I say not as of right now because who knows.
All right, so that was a thing that was put up by Twitch, written by Ross Kerr. I'll put the link down below in the description so you can go and read that for yourself. He says a lot more in there. We just kind of tipped on it and then gave our own thing. But so some of the things that because I started a few years ago on YouTube, and now we're doing the Twitch thing, and So the internet, man, the internet is a dirty, bitchy, complainy place. And as a streamer, you can get dragged down into that very, very easily because people are at home hiding behind their computer, will say whatever it is they want to be either nice, vindictive, somewhere in the middle, or just a complete asshat or whatever, and that can dirty your community. And so for me, I've taken a supremely hard line as a streamer, and that is we don't talk about those divisive issues about race. We don't talk about sexual orientation. We don't talk about politics, because those things people just innately feel strongly about, and they don't always agree with. And hell, I don't even vote, so I don't even want to hear about it to begin with. And and then on top of that, I'm gonna get somebody to say, you don't vote, and then they want to come. So I was like, hey, we're not gonna talk about that stuff. And here's the thing: is this community, our communities, Crow's community, my communities, streamers' communities, are where people want to be and feel inclusive.
Yeah.
They want it to be a safe, happy place where they enjoy going. So, as somebody that sits behind a computer and plays a game and interacts with a community, if you have, or you're upset with somebody, or you have a problem with somebody, then don't bring that into the community. Because here's the thing, is I don't know. I'm not there. You can say whatever it is you want. He stabbed 400 people. I don't know. Did that happen? Maybe, but I don't know, right? So how am I going to judge somebody without proof, right? Because I'm a firm believer that you're innocent until proven guilty in this country. And that might be divisive for people, but here's the thing, is in my community, I rule by the laws that I want to rule by because I want my community a certain way. So if you want to bring your drama into my community, my mods will see you out fast. I won't even have to do anything. My mods will be beep and you're gone. So here's the thing is, even if you're part of the community, right? Be the part that you want everybody else to be. Don't bring your drama to me as judge to kick somebody out, because if they didn't do something to me, then I don't know, right? I don't
See, and I
know
think
if
that
it's true or not. If you're just making it up because you want to be a fucking asshole, or sorry, Crow, and
no, it's so
or if
true.
it's true, right? I don't know. I don't have any proof. And don't send me a police report because I don't want to know. I don't want to get involved with it. Our
Yeah,
communities are to be
I've
inclusive. And if you don't want to be inclusive, it's okay for you not to be there. But don't
yeah
bring it to me to be a judge because I don't know what happened. And it wasn't me that did it, right? I didn't start the problem. It was between whoever it was between with. And so if you just can't deal with it as adults, I'm sorry. Deal with
may
it
not be the right
yourself
community.
and then come back. But
Yeah.
but don't stress streamers out or other people out that don't have anything to do with your drama. We don't need it. We have our own drama in our own real lives.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say is I've had this problem in the nest before and probably always will, and I'm sure all streamers will. And that's the biggest thing. There's things that just because I'm the head, if you will say, if I'm the head of the community, doesn't mean it falls on my shoulders, doesn't mean that it's my problem, my fault, my issues. It's your problem, and I'm just there to help facilitate. Just because you're having a problem with it doesn't mean I need to kick this person or that person. If they're following the rules of the community, what do I have to say? You know, it's I get put in this position a lot, and I'm starting to put my foot down where it's like, you know what? No community rules were broken. Either you can stay or you can go. It's up to you. My idea for my community is to come, relax, have a good time, put your things of the real world to the side, and just kind of come and relax, you know, kind of forget about things for a little while, have fun.
And that doesn't mean you can't come and talk about your real world problems if you need to
Exactly.
talk about it and in the chat and create a conversation in the chat. But if you're
Can.
bringing drama, not problems,
It's
if you're
drama.
bringing drama into the community with other community members, that's not good. That's not allowed.
Yeah.
And don't do that to people. That's just not that's not healthy for anybody involved. You,
No.
the other person that you're having drama with, the community, or me or Crow or anybody else. It's not fair to anybody else that you bring that kind of drama into the community because you're now affecting the community.
Yeah.
And that's where it's just not right. And that's where being a streamer can have these dire effects on you because now you have people coming to you to deal with the problem because Johnny Jimbo in chat said something and then you guys talked in real life and then you guys were fighting about politics in real life and now he's supporting one person and you're supporting the other person and now you hate that person because they're not supporting the same, and now you go to the streamer because that person's voting for somebody else. That's not right. That's not even fair. And that's hurting the community. That's not helping the community. And that's where the streamer can get involved in these situations that they don't belong in. And it's not fair. It's not fair.
Yeah, you end up as a streamer getting involved in a lot more and being put in positions that, yeah, it's not fair. I mean, that's the best way to put it. It's just not fair. But
and like I started streaming because I don't have people in my real life that game. So my connections that I built through streaming, through gaming and like-minded stuff is I do cherish those relationships. And when things get involved that you don't agree with and you want to pull away, that's okay. But know that I did or do value that relationship that we had.
Agreed.
And just because I'm not dealing with some drama that you want me to deal with, or just because I disagree with how to approach it in my community, it still hurts that you don't want to be there, but I understand that you got to do what's right for you. It's just
Yeah.
also, I wish that it wasn't that way. I wish that that we could still be friends and just have the like situations that we always had. But if the drama, if that drama is that so important to you that you want to affect that relationship, then I guess our relationship wasn't as strong as I maybe thought it was or
As I
something.
thought. Yeah, exactly.
And it doesn't mean I still don't value it, even if you didn't think it was at the level that I do. But it's still not fair. And those are the kind of stressful situations that streamers get put into. And it's very
All the
difficult
time.
to lose somebody that's been in your community for such a long time because of somebody else's drama that you had nothing to do with.
Yeah.
That and that's
And
kind of things can get. And so,
it's
go
yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's that losing someone too. Like you thought you had a friendship, and it's a friendship, and I feel like it's still there. You grow a relationship with your community, and it happens, and when they have to do their thing and they move on and they leave for whatever reason it may be, man, it tears at the heart and it hurts, but you still have to, as a streamer, I guess you just still try to move on.
Right. And that's kind of thing is you try not to let those things affect you on your stream, but
Try
don't
not to on
do
stream.
not bury them. Talk to somebody, connect
Yeah.
with somebody, take some time away, and if all those things aren't working, there's numbers at the top of this up here and we'll also put them in the description. Please
Yeah.
call somebody because you are important. You
I can tell you
are
definitely you are
worthwhile.
not alone. I know that you're not alone. I can vouch for it. I've gone through lots of stuff too, and I've reached out to people, and they've been able to help me and hold my hand and give me advice, give me just a shoulder to cry on, all of that stuff. And yeah, just
Suicide
you're not
is
alone.
not the way out.
Definitely.
And the only thing you're going to do is affect a whole lot of other people's mental health.
Yep.
And just because you'll be gone and not having to deal with it, the amount of impact you will have on family, friends, your community will put other people at risk.
Yep.
Please, please call somebody if you are feeling that you are not worth it. Because you are. There are people that love you, there's people that want you there, and you are important to the world. You never know. You might 10 years from now walk down the street, trip and fall on something and discover the cure for cancer or something. You don't know. You don't know how this
True.
world works. It is people stumble on things all the time, and if you are gone, then maybe that discovery never happens or whatever it is, or maybe that interaction, maybe you save somebody's life, maybe you trip and fall and push somebody out of the way and they don't get hit by a car and they discover cancer. You never know. You don't
Yeah.
know. You are important. So please, if you are struggling, call somebody. But as a streamer, there's many ways. We gave you 5 of them. Go back, read that article from Ross Kerr, and look up your own resources. But please, you are important. So please don't choose that way as a
Definitely.
way out. It's not the way out. Um, but we're sorry. This is kind of a serious video. We tried
Yeah.
to not make it that way. But we thought it was a serious enough topic about streaming that we needed to talk about it. So with that, we are gonna be out of here.
We out.
Don't forget to catch Crow streaming
Yep.
on Twitch. Don't forget to catch myself streaming on Twitch. We'll put those links down in the description. And please comment and let us know what you want us to talk about.
Yes.
Give us some ideas.
We've
We're
got
only 2
some
people,
ideas of,
and this guy's not that smart. So
and
please give us
yeah.
some topics.
Everyone know that we love you. We appreciate you. Know that you're not alone, and definitely reach out if you ever need any help. We can help put you in contact with other people, such as the hotlines that we've talked about. So anyway, thank you.
All right.
Appreciate everything. We'll talk to you guys later.
Much love, all. We are out.